There are different levels of thinking. So we have lower order and higher order thinking. And lower order and higher order thinking are both important. So the lower order thinking is learning how to remember or to understand or to apply it. But for the 21st century, we need those skills of the higher order thinking, which is how to synthesize and how to analyze information, how to evaluate. And more importantly, how to be divergent and creative thinkers so that they can come up with creative ideas. So what I try and do is to align my programs with current brain-based pedagogy and what this could look like. For example, in Year 6 at the moment, we have been learning about earthquakes. Now, instead of just handing out a whole heap of worksheets, what we do is we get the students to form groups. Okay, so in this instance, it's an authentic learning project about the Nepal earthquake. And in class, the students form learning teams or learning groups. One group is, for example, the scientist group, or the other group is the Nepalese government, or another group is how Australia responded to the earthquake. Another group is how emergency services responded to the earthquake, and the human stories that are involved. So to do this, they have to go online. There's nothing that's been written in a book. They have to go online, they have to listen to blogs, they have to listen to radio talkback shows, they have to read newspapers, they have to gather information. They've even gone and interviewed friends to gather information from wherever they could. And then they have to, within their group, so this is actually collaborative learning, they have to synthesize this information. In this instance, in their small groups, when they've all come back together as a class, they actually present it back as a TV media show, and it's where they all have to work together as a class. So that just takes it to a whole another level, where not only do they have to work in small groups, but they've got to work as a class, and then the whole class presents it back as a TV show. So in our Nepal earthquake, another example that we did collaborative learning is when we set up a virtual classroom. And what a virtual classroom does, this is really exciting. It actually breaks down the classroom walls effectively. Learning doesn't just happen in a classroom, it can happen anywhere. And what we did with the Nepal earthquake is that we set up that shared Google Doc in our virtual classroom, and when the students go home, when they're in their groups of 4, in their 4 different homes, they are working on the one document. And what that means is that they've been working really hard at homework, on gathering data, synthesizing information, and when they come back into the classroom, we can operate at a different level. Okay, we can take that learning so much further and so much richer because we have that opportunity to use the virtual classroom for learning. Teaching our students to be excellent learners and really sharp thinkers, it starts at them having to understand how their brain works. And so we teach them about the structure of the brain and how that brain learns. We teach them about a neuron and how do you fire up a neuron and how you can grow new neurons. And not only that, we actually teach them, can you lose neurons as well? And the importance of repetition and practice and refining their learning. And when students have this information, they get it. They actually completely understand it right from reception all the way through. If they understand how their brain learns, they become lifelong learners themselves.